Let's try that again. Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason on this Tuesday. I hope it finds you well out there. It has been a extremely busy morning here at Patriot. We had a new all-time record high gold price. Matter of fact, gold touched $3,500. Right, just that fast. Off a little bit since then. We got some good news. Yes, good news. What was it? Well, the IMF said growth's going to be way down, taking 1 percentage point off of GDP from the United States. And let's face it, the stock market likes that. So maybe, Jay Powell, please, always late, Jay, can you please cut rates? I don't know that it will. But for at least for today, a little bit of a relief rally in stocks. We got a lot of, we'll learn a lot this week because we got a lot of earnings coming from a lot of companies, and it'll start in earnest this afternoon after the markets close. So it'll be interesting to see what things look like. Of course, our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. And, of course, what do? The physical delivery, gold, silver. We had a huge platinum sale yesterday. I will tell you, we have sold out of the 1/10 ounce. Well, we're close enough. Put it this way. We either we're trying not to sell more than what we have. We may have one or two left, but no, we're out. We're out. But got another, yeah, you heard me right, another great opportunity in platinum coming again today. A totally different item. Super cool. You don't see these things very often. That will be coming later in the show. But again, as we said, the IMF lowering the growth rates all over the world, taking the U.S. down by 1 percentage point. So the Dow was down over 900 points, almost 1,000 points yesterday. Right now it's up 800, not a lot of volume. So that's kind of what we've been seeing, right? The days the market's up, we don't see tons of volume. And then when they're down, we tend to see more volume. And I think that right now, anyway, we'll take what we can get as we continue to wait the war of words between Donald Trump and Jay Powell. Here's the problem. At least for this second, we haven't heard any more since yesterday, right? Calling Jay Powell a loser, saying that he's always late, that he needs to cut rates, right? Talks about firing the Fed chair if he can. Now, they're just to let people know how it works. Really, the only way that you can fire the chair of the Federal Reserve is essentially for malfeasance, not doing his job. You can't fire him because he says he doesn't want to lower rates, and you say you want him to lower rates. That doesn't work. You'd have to, put up the case, and you know what? You could probably make a case. Well, God, he stinks, right? Said GDP was going to be this, it was that. Said inflation was going to be this, it was that. But you know what? All the Fed guys stink. Right, so I don't know if he's any worse than any of the other ones, but I don't know. Is Donald Trump gonna get on Truth Social and throw something out there that can just remember all of these things can change on a dime, but we will continuing to watch. We've been watching golds climb. Here's the big worry: is the problem now is Donald Trump is saying, hey, I don't have a lot of confidence in the Federal Reserve, right? And rightfully so. I wish he would talk about ending the Fed. Of course, all he wants to do is get somebody in there that'll do what he wants. So I don't know. It's not the solution. But what the world is hearing is that we don't have confidence in the dollar. That's really the big rub. And we have, for those of you, I don't want to bore people, but Basel III goes into effect in July of this year. Now, this was something, think about how long this stuff takes. This was something agreed upon before COVID. I mean, it was, I want to say 2018, maybe it was 2019, something like that. But it doesn't go into effect until July. One of the big changes was gold officially becomes a Tier 1 asset. What does that mean, Tier 1 assets? Well, there's only a couple of Tier 1 assets. U.S. Treasuries is a Tier 1 asset. Cash is a Tier 1 asset. Now, gold is a Tier 1 asset. Now, obviously, we're seeing all these central banks buying gold, and it makes sense because, hey, we know it's going to be a Tier 1 asset. That becomes official in July, and I think you're going to see even more central banks. You know, a lot of them were buying up before, right, it officially took effect. Once it actually takes effect, you're probably going to see even more of it. And at the same time, worries about the dollar. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour on this Tuesday. Quick look in. Dow's up 830 right now. Back right at 39,000. The S&P's up 100. The NASDAQ's up 400. Like I said, the big news, the downgrade from the IMF. Globally, GDP down to 1.8, but in the U.S., they took it down a full percentage point. The 10-year note, boy, it's at 4.4. It was actually higher than that. We got to about 4.45 earlier, so at least the downgrade from the IMF pulled that back, but that is much higher than anybody wants it to be right now. You know, we're having that same problem. Debt sales. They're not great, right? And of course, what are we seeing? We're seeing a repositioning of what central banks and countries and you know hedge funds. I mean, the list goes on, and the sovereign wealth funds want to hold. And it's interesting that Basel III, it's already done, but they wait. You know, this is just how they do it. It takes this 5-year period. It's official in July. That is when all of the gold will be considered to be Tier 1 assets around the world, and I expect even more central banks going to gold, especially, listen, this was going to happen sooner or later, right? Is Donald Trump just, I don't know, mean about it, I guess, right? Did he have to imply that Jay Powell was stupid? No. Could he said it nice, I guess? Yes, but that's not his style. But the message is still the same. Right? The message is still the same, which is holding dollars isn't as safe as it used to be. That's all. That's all it means. What's the debt level? We don't even know. Right? When's the Treasury going to run out of money? What do we have? I don't know, 6 weeks? Something like that. They better get something done. Right, we've already been hearing about the rating agencies talking more downgrades. This isn't going to help, right? So I guess if you could say one thing about it with the spat between Trump and Powell, it doesn't help, right? It doesn't help, but you do understand that when it at least comes to Wall Street, they're adamant they need rate cuts, and I don't know that they're going to get them. Crude oil up another $1.30. So this kind of been the odd, maybe the oddball here. It's up to $64. Most of this having to do with lack of supply in Cushing, Oklahoma. Right now, gold has had a crazy day. So in Asia, and we saw this yesterday, saw it the day before, huge jumps. And I don't know, is that China buying? Is it Japan? Is it South Korea? We can speculate, but there is this mass buying that we're seeing in the Asian markets, and yesterday took the price to $3,500, and then at least we got some profit taking. Right now, gold's pretty flat, up about $6, and it's been moving like $5 a tick here. But we're looking at $34.30, so a little higher than yesterday. I said, but like I said, a new intraday high of $3,500. And again, it's still early. These days now where gold moves 50, 60, 70, 80, $100. Yesterday, what did it go up? $100 yesterday, are becoming very routine now. Maybe, fingers crossed, we can get a little pullback for a day or two, because that's all we get. But I'm hoping maybe this week we'll get a little pullback and you can jump back in. Silver's up 27 cents. Still, silver right around that $33 mark. Platinum at $960. Palladium at $921. Not a lot going on in those markets, at least today. And obviously the downgrade from the IMF so far is the news of the day. So we've had the dollar fall 10% in the last 2 months. The biggest factor, investors fleeing the U.S. and its currency. Obviously the trade war is part of it. I think when you look at what else is part of it, the fact that we don't have a budget, the fact that we're at the debt ceiling, the fact that we're in emergency measures, the fact that they want to extend these tax cuts and really enhance these tax cuts and raise the debt even more. And when we're thinking about, gosh, we don't even have a budget, yet we're spending more than we did last year. A lot of that because, well, the interest keeps costing more. When you look at it, the U.S., listen to this, we've added over $10 trillion in what, like the last 4 years? Is that $10 trillion? I mean, it's incredible when you think of it. Debt to GDP, 120%. And the amount of debt having to roll over, that's the other issue. So one of the things that Janet Yellen did when she was the Treasury Secretary, and I was on here telling you this is a horrible idea. Think about when interest rates, before they started shooting back up again, right? We have the 10-year note. Think about this. The 10-year note wasn't even yielding 1%. We should have locked in. We should have sold as much 10-year, 20-year, 30-year debt as possible at that rate. That would only make sense. Think about it. If you had a, you know what? Here's a great way for you to look at it. Pretend this was a house. You guys all know the difference between a 3% mortgage and a 7% mortgage. It's like crazy, right? It's like, my gosh, the same amount cost me twice as much. Instead, What did Janet Yellen do? She loaded up on short-term debt. 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. Why? Well, they wanted to play games with the interest rates. That's why. They wanted to play games. And now the amount of debt that we have to roll over, not just this year, next year, the year, it's unrelenting. On top of all the new debt that we add up to, it's a problem. You're talking about rolling over, what, $12, $13 trillion every year? I mean, it's an incredible amount. And I think this is something where when you look at, okay, why is gold doing what it's doing? Because it scares the hell out of me. You know, I've been doing this a long time. Gold shouldn't move like this. I mean, it was $2,700 to start the year. It hit $3,500 last night. What's happening? And the answer really is simple. There was no good answer, right? We could have kept doing what we were doing, right? Extend and pretend and keep spending the money and see how far we could go with it. We could do what Donald Trump decided, hey, let's somehow, I want to extend tax cuts and do this and let's throw these tariffs out there. Let's try to, figure something out. But remember what I keep telling you. There was no good choice. None. And I get it. Donald Trump's upset because he knows there's no good choice. Jay Powell's upset. Right? Jay Powell's upset. Why? Because he knows there's no good choice. Lowering rates isn't a good choice. Raising the rates isn't a good choice. So I'll just leave them the same. But the reality is very simple. When you think about the dollar's lost 10% in a matter of what? I don't know, gosh. Feels like not even 60 days. 10%. Think about all these countries holding dollars. And maybe they've got a 2-year note and maybe it yields 4% for 2 years. Then you just lost 10% in 60 days. And everybody out there saying, by the way, the dollar's probably going to drop another 20. And that doesn't work very well. Well, what's the one thing that's working? Gold. Well, you know what? I gotta do something to cover our losses, right? Because I'm sitting on this loser, which is fiat money. It's not just the dollar. It doesn't matter. What do you want to sell the dollar by the yen? Really? You want to buy the Japanese yen? Oh, wait. You want to buy the euro because they're so great, right? No. How about the renminbi? You want that? No. This is just easy math here, guys. And when we're sitting there and we're talking about, think about yesterday. People started talking about Arthur Burns, right? He was the head of the Federal Reserve during the 70s, right? Was Joe Biden Jimmy Carter or what? I mean, hell, at least Jimmy Carter knew where the hell he was. And this is what I think you're seeing all these people out now. Look at China. China's laying out these plans that they're talking about revaluing gold at over $5,000. Remember that talk? That, hey, the U.S., the Treasury, Scott Bassett was maybe going to revalue gold. Remember, and it was going to be maybe $3,000. I remember because gold wasn't quite $3,000 yet. Now look at it, right? And that may still happen. That may still happen here. We'll have to see. I know that the worry is if Jay Powell doesn't start to do two things. Number one, lower rates. Number two, bring back quantitative easing. Let's not forget. And I know it gets hard because everybody's sitting there, you're talking about this tariff, that tariff, right? Dow's down, Dow's up. Donald Trump's out on Truth Social saying whatever Donald Trump's going to say. But understand this. Everybody, and I mean everybody, is saying, hey, we're getting real close to needing a bailout in the bond market. Right? We'll be back after the break. Other white metal special coming up. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour on this Tuesday. Things will start to pick up with earnings starting this afternoon and the rest of the week. So we'll see how they turn out. We'll start to get a feel for the effects of tariffs and what these companies are saying about the tariffs. All of that coming up. But yesterday, like I said, we've been around a long time. 29 years we've been doing this. We never know what's going to walk in the door. And yesterday, we had some great other metals come through the door, a lot of platinum, and some really cool platinum as well. We had 10th ounce yesterday. Remember, we had 700 10th ounce. They're all gone. All of them. Today, I got another super cool item. These are, it's 1 gram platinum bars. But they come like a credit card. So there's 50 individual detachable 1 gram platinum bars. It's like the size of a credit card. And you got in it, that's 50 1 gram platinum bars, and you can break off one at a time. We've done this with gold, right? Same thing, but this is platinum. I've got 25 of these. And they're only $2,000. That's it. $2,000 for we'll call it the platinum credit card, right? So 50 1 gram platinum bars. So they're all together and they're perforated so you can break off a gram of platinum and give it to somebody if you wanted. They're $2,000, and I only have 25 of these. That is all that I have. That's all there is. You don't see them very often. They're kind of one of the mints, I want to say it was Valcambi, was the one that did them. It kind of did them as a one-off type thing. So if you want to get some platinum, remember we talked about platinum yesterday. Normally, when you think about platinum, with the exception of probably COVID, right around when COVID started, platinum was always worth more than gold. Always. The first 17 years I worked here, I don't remember that platinum was ever less than gold. And usually you can say, okay, well, two ounces of gold for 1 ounce of platinum. It's kind of, in that range, kind of. Right now, it's like 4-1 the other way. 4 ounces of platinum for 1 ounce of gold. And yeah, I know, right? It's platinum, right? It's the industrial side and all of that. But this is, platinum here just below $1,000 an ounce is a steal, in my opinion, especially when we get past the tariffs, when we get past all of this other stuff, I think you're in store for a big run. So pick them up here. You get the whole platinum card. That card contains 50 1-gram platinum bars, and they're only $2,000 at 800-951-0592. Take the time. Keep adding. Donald Trump yesterday met with Walmart, Target, Home Depot, Lowe's to talk about tariffs. Here's the thing that's bothersome for me when I hear this, right? Apple got a carve out, right? But what about the little guys? No carve outs, right? I don't know. A spokesman for Walmart and Home Depot said the meeting was productive. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? What is productive? I don't know, but the thing that bothers me the most about all of this stuff is when we start giving carve-outs to the big companies. And, of course, Wall Street, it's great. Oh, yeah, Apple this and Apple. You know what? I don't know. It's interesting. I would like to see him meeting with the small business community. How's that? I guess that's it. That's really my big beef in Donald Trump kind of meeting with it. I guess, not that he shouldn't. I guess he should, but I think, what about the little guy, Donald? Come on, man. And then how about this? Is the gold trade crowded? We've heard a lot about this, right? It's overbought, which probably is. What does overbought mean? It just means, it went up to, right? It's a real technical term. It just went up really fast. So we got to get a profit-taking day. Okay, well, yeah, sure. That's easy enough to say. But is it really that crowded? And according to the data from Goldman, the answer is no. They're saying that in gold, money managers have generally taken profits and managed their overall exposure to the price, even as it continues to push higher. One of the interesting things is the ETFs. So think about last year. We had a great year, right? Gold was great. What did they tell you about last year? Central banks. Oh, and good demand out of China and India. What didn't we have? We didn't have investors, and we didn't have the ETFs. Fast forward to this year. We still have central banks, right? Remember what we said about Basel III. Now, we still have outrageous demand, by the way, in India and China. And now it's Japan, South Korea, right? That's even gotten bigger. What about the ETFs? We broke a record last week. I'll tell you what it was. We're back here. Patriot Radio News Hour, our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. We have a really good opportunity here on platinum again today. Yesterday, we had 700 1/10 ounce platinum coins. They're all gone. All gone. They were $110. To give you an idea, this credit card of platinum, it has 50 detachable 1 gram platinum bars in it. That's just under 1.9 ounces. So when you look at the 10th ounce that we ran yesterday at that great price, if you bought 19 of them, it would have been $2,090. So this is on par with what we did yesterday, except they're just in detachable 1 gram bars. They're $2,000. So you're going to get 50 1 gram bars in this. They're $2,000, and we only have 25 of them at 800-951-0592. By the way, on the gold side of things, I'm going to do the best I can here. But if you're looking to add to gold, $20 gold pieces, $3,595. And jump on them here. I mean, think about this. What? 12 hours ago, gold was $3,500. Right now, we're lucky. It goes $34.40. $20 gold, $3,595 today, and then, of course, the Platinum credit card. That's what we're going to call this thing. The Platinum credit card, that's the deal of the day at $2,000 at 800-951-0592. Yesterday, a record inflow into the gold ETFs, $8 billion flowed in a single week. And this is before the Jay Powell, Donald Trump. So far this year. Actually, I apologize. This is just the first 3 months of this year. Doesn't include April. $80 billion has flowed into the gold ETFs. Last week alone, $8 billion, the biggest weekly inflow in the history of the gold ETF. And Jason, you know, when you think about, hey, why is it moving even faster this year than last year? Here's your answer, right? Last year, we had the central banks, right? Sovereign wealth funds, all that stuff. Huge demand out of China, India. Not a lot in investor, not a lot in ETFs. This year, huge demand in central banks, sovereign wealth funds, right? The Asian demand's actually grown because it's now in China. It's now in South Korea. Now, on top of this, ETF demand, I mean, we're shattering records in the ETF world. And Jason, this is the one thing, even the investor, and Jason, he can tell you, right? It's picking up again, right? More people, I think, every 1,000 points Wall Street drops, it seems like there's more people that are saying, okay, I got to get more diversified. This rally definitely looks like this isn't a paper rally. That's the thing. This is what's so different this time than what was going on, say, during the financial crisis and all of that. And why people are starting to talk about the 70s. In the 70s, listen, there was no paper gold markets in the 70s. There wasn't. That didn't exist. It was physical. And Jason, this is exactly what we're seeing here. This is a physical gold run.
Yeah, and I've been thinking about this actually as it's moving up very dramatically in the price of gold. And then you see the industrial metals seems to be kind of lagging, right, Joe? There's just kind of silver's still sitting there. They're moving up, but it seems to be a monetary move, Joe. The gold rally seems to be a monetary move. Gold is money. Silver's not money. I know we like to think of it as traditionally history as silver is money as well, but silver is industrial. Joe's talked about this ad nauseum for years and years. Gold is telling us that monetarily things are going to be really difficult. And so it's being bought, and it's being bought, and it's being bought, and it's being bought. And it's not being bought by retail buyers, because Joe and I, we're not rolling in customers like we did during COVID. And after the January 6th, oh man, when people thought the American government was going away, the customers came rolling in. Big governments, central banks, corporations, big buyers are pushing the paper price, and the physical is all just evaporating at once. This is why I think gold's not stopping, Joe, because I think it's more than just the physical. It's the paper too. It's being pushed hard, Joe.
I got breaking news here. The People's Bank of China and 3 other government departments are now saying that they are going to internationalize the Shanghai Gold Exchange and set it up to compete with the London Metals Exchange to try to gain control over the price of gold. Oh, big news coming out of China right now. Get in before this happens. 800-951-0592. Final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason wrapping up this Tuesday. The Platinum Credit Card, the 51-gram bars, $2,000, and then $20 gold pieces, $3,595 at 800-951-0592. And China with a huge announcement today. The People's Bank of China issuing what they called an action plan to enhance the cross-border financial service facilitation in the Shanghai International Finance Center, saying that the Shanghai Exchange, which is the world's largest consumer of precious metals, is going to internationalize its product deliveries and establishment of delivery warehouses. Is China making a play for the gold market? And it looks exactly what they are doing. They're saying that China is taking steps to shape the pricing of vast quantities of metal. So they're saying, hey, listen, this isn't just going to be gold and silver. We're talking industrial metals like copper and others as well. They want to achieve benchmark status. What does that mean? Well, simply put, it would eliminate the needs for Chinese or any other firms to link their physical contracts to the LME price and create a need for foreigners to trade in the price set by the Chinese instead. So, Jason, here we go, man. It's on now.
Well, if you've got someone who's going to pay more money for something, or they're going to move the market and they have the weight to push it, then that could be what I was saying on the last segment, Joe, which is gold's a monetary metal. And beyond the controlling of the physical commodities, which you're talking silver, copper here, gold is going to probably outpace. We have all these people that say, well, I'm buying silver because it's going to eventually outpace gold. Well, that's probably true. Platinum that we're selling, this is bargain basement super prices. But it might take a while for the platinum to move. How many times have we said it? It's better to be a year too early buying something than one day too late. When platinum catches up, it'll catch up very dramatically. But gold looks like it's going to keep going because it's the monetary metal, and no matter how much you're trying to control the let's say the copper and the tin and the other commodities, gold is the monetary metal that's going to react to all the chaos that's getting ready to happen, and it's already really happening, Joe. So I don't think gold's going to stop. Gold's not going to stop. It's just not. And then what Joe's talked about is the rest of the metals are going to start moving now, following gold up. Inflation, Joe. We're talking massive inflationary situations. I think people are going to be crippled by what's getting ready to happen in the next 12 months.
Yeah, I mean, this is just flat out here. I guess this is the easiest way I can say it. China's like, hey, listen, no one buys more of this stuff. No one uses more of this stuff. We're going to start controlling the price of this stuff. And, oh, by the way, you don't have to deal with the British or the U.S. markets anymore. You can just come right here and we'll take care of it for you. 800-951-0592. Jason and I, we're coming right back.